Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Alright, you guys have seen this workstation already, and thank you for your support. And I really like that you guys liked my video, and that gives me motivation to do the next one. And one of my viewers asked me that how I will turn on the second supply, which is here. That was for the GPU, so you guys can see I have upgraded this PSU from a Delta power supply. So I was using this. You can see I have the bridge connection here and soldered on here, and I was using this supply, and after some time it was getting hot and screaming out, right? Because it was only 750 watt, so I was using like a 30 or 40% power of this power supply. So now I have upgraded this power supply to HP 1200 watt. So now I'll be using like 20% of the power or power capacity. So this power supply is very silent and I really liked it. So I can leave it on for hours. So when I exported that video, the last one you guys saw, and it did not scream, it was not loud, right, and it was going good. I checked the powers and everything was going good, and CPU and GPU was working to its full capacity. And nope, that was like completely silent. Like not silent, you won't say. If you are in a quiet room you will hear it, and if you're in a bit noisy room you won't. So in today's video, as I told you that one of the viewer asked me how I will turn on this supply if I press the switch on this workstation. So you know, like you plug it in and this power is always on and the fan is always running, right? And there's power in these connectors. So nobody wants that to happen, because then this power supply will keep consuming a little power, right? And the fan will be on. So if you are in a quiet room, yes, you will hear that always, even though your workstation is not running. Or you have to manually disconnect this power connector or power plug, right? Or switch it off. So what everyone wants, and what I want, is when I switch on this one, this should automatically turn on, right? So this is what we are going to do today. So I'm just gonna open this up and I'm gonna explain my plan to you guys. That okay, what's my plan here? So my plan is I can see over here SATA connector, a spare one. You can see there's a SATA connector free, and there is one SATA connector free here. So I'm gonna use this one, not on the hard drive side. So I'm just using this one. Here's my male SATA power connector. You guys can see I can just plug it in here. Yes, and take the power from this connector, right? Take the power from this connector. It's near to the CPU, so not an issue though. And use the two wires. One is black and one is red. So red has 5 volts, black is ground. On this side, yellow has 12 volt, black is ground. So we are only going to use these two, right? Now, what I am going to do is use this little monster. This is a relay. So to turn on this power supply, we just need to bridge 2 pins, right? Over here you guys can see. So I will put the cover on so that you can see better. So I just need to bridge these 2 pins. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the relay over here, right? And use that SATA power to turn this relay on with these 2 pins. And what will happen? These 2 pins will be bridged together, right? And I will connect these two pins here. When you will press the switch on the workstation, that SATA power is going to turn on this relay, and this relay will bridge these two pins, and the power supply will be turned on at the same time. So there will be a little bit delay, I hope, and we need to find that out, how much delay is there. And if it is too much, this plan is not going to work. But if there is no relay, like power supply turns on straight away, that will be amazing. That will be amazing, right? So let's start this project. Yeah. First of all, we need a wire. We just don't need very thick wire, because we are just going to turn on the relay. So you can see this is 2 core, right? And what I am going to do is put the wire through this conduit, and this will reach at the end, right? And what I'm gonna do after that, I'm gonna put SATA connector. I will keep the wire a little bit long to adjust it. SATA connector over on the end of this side, and on this side I will use the relay and bridge. So let's start the video. So here's our power supply, and here's our relay. So I hope you guys can see this video clearly, or I'm going to adjust my camera. I hope that will work out well. So let's work out with this relay, or put the wire in the conduit, and we will see that, okay, what we are going to do exactly. So here are 2 wires which I'm going to use to jump the pins, right? And I hope my soldering iron will be ready. And I'm not going to put any heat shrink sleeve on it, because I have ordered liquid tape, right? So I'm going to, when it arrives, I'm going to put liquid tape on the pins to cover those up, and everywhere else where I need. Yeah. So let's try to solder these wires. So I'm going to take this wire off, which I soldered before. And let's put some solder on those first, otherwise it's not going to work. On. I'm going to move the power supply so that you guys can see it properly. So these 2 wires are connected on the power supply. This is to jump. You guys know when a relay turns on, it just contacts 2 points, right? So that's what we are going to do here. So just it's going to connect these 2 points together when the SATA power is on. So yeah, let's see. So this is properly connected. I will cover these later. So let's try to use Alright guys, so these two wires are ready to connect, so I'm gonna connect these now. So now, you don't require so much power to turn on this relay, so this is like 5 volt, right? And this was used in some heavy machinery, actually, the electronic board of a heavy machinery, and so it is really good relay. So these two wires are connected. Right, so this is working, I hope. So before fixing the PC, I am going to test this PSU, that if it turns on or it doesn't turn on, because that's the concern, that's my concern as well. Right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna strip the wire from this side, plug it in, right, wherever I can, and supply 5 volts or 12 volts here, and this power supply should turn on, right? So let's find that out. Let's test this first. So I'm gonna chop it a little bit, and all right, so I've stripped the wires, right, and I'll plug this in. I'll put the multimeter on the 2 outputs, and I'm gonna show you guys that if this works, right, or if it doesn't work. So first of all, I'm going to find a power source, right, which will turn turn this relay on. So I'm gonna stop the recording and come back. All right, so I'm back here again. So you guys can see multimeter is connected to both of the different connectors, because I couldn't fix the probes to same connector. But hey, there is the voltage you can see, and now I have these wires which is going to the power supply relay. This is the one, and I have the supply from power adapter, which is like 12 volt, 2 amps. That's fine. That relay is going to work on lower voltage, so that is connect. Now when I'm going to touch these 2 wires, right, if you guys can see, I don't know, I have these 2 wires here, right? When I'm going to touch, relay is going to turn on, and it is going to turn on the power supply, and you will see the voltage here. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. It turned on pretty quickly, like a second delay. So you guys can see over here, the voltage is 12.27, right? So it works basically in that way. It works, right? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring the PC up, and first I'm going to put the SATA connector on this wire, and then we will plug in and find out that if everything works okay, right? So let's do that. So you guys can see that, okay, when I like disconnect it, it is going down, down, and down, because this is auto range. So this is reducing slowly. So when I touch it, it's on. There you go. So the delay, I think, is from the multimeter or the amp meter. So yeah, let's start it. And first I'm going to put the connector here, and then we will connect it to the server or a workstation. So I'm going to take this soldering off, and so here I'm again, SATA power. So I'm going to chop this connectors, the Molex connector. I don't need it, so I'm gonna chop it from the end. So that's clearly fine with me. I'm good, right? So I'm gonna keep these 2 wires just to support this one. I'm gonna cut these wires short, little bit short, so that I can overlap these 2 wires to support it. So here goes the wire. Let's strip it down with the plier. So here the wires are. I'm gonna put heat shrink sleeve on this one, on this side. So because the wires are longer, and it will be easy to put the sleeve on. Right, so these wires are ready to solder. So I'm gonna put the heat shrink sleeve on these two wires, right, and gonna solder these wires. So for the relay, polarity is not important unless you are working on really good electronics, right? So I'm gonna just put this outside wire to the negative, and that's pretty much it. Right, so these are good and right. So you guys can see SATA connector this side, and there you go. Our three connectors are ready to roll, right? So, all right, so here is our workstation, and the power is connected. You guys can see the wires going on, and on the video, the connector is plugged here, right? You will know when I will turn it on. So here is our PSU, the second one, right? I don't want any touch it to any metal, right? So I'm keeping it here at the moment, right? Yeah, let's keep it here. It's not touching anywhere. So at the moment, I'm not gonna connect the GPU, right? Because I'm gonna test it first, right? So I will connect the multimeter in a while. Plug the SATA connector in first. Let's connect it first. So it is connected, yeah? So here are our wires. And I don't know how you guys are gonna know, but over here on the GPU there is an LED which will work because the power is not connected. So I have moved it down a little bit. Sorry, the other way, I hope. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see, but there will be an LED, right? And these fans will start working, and you will see the reading on the multimeter, right, when it will turn on. So here is our multimeter, right, and it is not connected yet. Well, this is clamp meter, so I'm saying multimeter, sorry about that. So I'm gonna connect it to the one connector at the moment because I'll be able to hold it here. So 1 and 2. So it is connected, right? I'm gonna hold it because that's not high voltage, so that's fine. So here is your multimeter. So I'm gonna turn this PC on, and you guys will see the multimeter. There's 12 volt. So 3, 2, 1. Alright, so this is a fail. Why? Because I'm an idiot. PSU is not connected to the power, right? So let's turn this one off. Okay, so now it's off, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my mic near to the CPU fan so that you guys can hear that it has turned on. And right, so here's my mic, and you guys will be able to hear that CPU is on. CPU is on, and the reading is on the multimeter. So let me connect the PSU. So, because this is longer wire. Okay, so this is not working. So probably what has happened, the supply is not on, even though I'm connecting this to the multimeter, and this is not turning on. So what has happened, what I think is the voltage rating for this relay is 12 volt, not 5 volt, right? I checked the data sheet, that's why I supplied 5 volts, but I think this is going to work on different voltage. So I think this is a 12 volt relay, if I'm not wrong. So what I have to do now, I have to cut the yellow cable and connect the yellow cable instead of red, right? So let's do that. So the procedure is going to be the same. So I will come back to you guys after finishing the changing of the wire. So I have to connect the yellow wire to the relay, not the red one. It works on 12 volts, not on 5 volts. So I'm going to stop recording and come back. All right, I'm back, and what I have done is change the wire. Right, I have connect now yellow wire because that's 12 volt, and I have totally chopped off the red wire because I don't need it. So I'm just using the black wire to support. So that's fine. So now the time is to test the things, that if these work, because that's the important part. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect the power supply first. There you go, it's connected. Now I'm gonna put my mic near to the CPU fan again. So there we go. So you guys will be able to listen that when the CPU turns on and when everything comes on here. So what happens is when I will connect this CPU, and it will turn on immediately, but I'm gonna shut it down because I want to see the real results. Yeah? So it is turned on, so I'm gonna press the button. So this is off, right? So that's gonna affect my operating system for sure. If I'm turning it on, turning back on, turning it off, turning back on. So anyways, I'm going to upgrade the NVMe on it. So that should be fine, I hope. But hey, don't do that. Okay. So I would suggest if you are a professional, then you do something like that. But I don't take any warranty or guarantee of your system. Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen to mine, and I will be the responsible. I will be the only responsible for this system, right? If something happens, but not for you guys. I'm sorry, I can't do that. So I'm just letting you know a way, not teaching you, letting you know a way that okay, you can do this if you are an expert, right? So please, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. So here's my multimeter again, and let's turn this on. There you go, it is back on, and I'm gonna hold this hold these probes to the connector, and now I'm gonna switch it on. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. There you go. It worked. So as soon as I pressed the button on the CPU or the workstation, this relay turned on quickly, and there was power, right, to the multimeter. You guys can see I'm still holding it. The power is still there, right? So let it beep, let it boot into the Windows, then I am going to shut this off, right? So you guys will see. And you guys also can see the light is on here. So workstation or motherboard is supplying the power to the graphics card or GPU, but it's unable to turn everything on because it's only getting 75 watts out of the motherboard. So it's beeping. Right now I'm going to press and hold the switch, and it will be turned off. Just have a look on the multimeter. I'm still holding it. So when it will be off, there you go, it's off, right? So it's moving down. So showing 11 millivolts, so which is nothing because the power supply is connected. Maybe there's some voltage. All right, so this is a successful project, right? And I will take the system inside, I will tape it down, tape this wire down in here, right, in the conduit, and after that I can use this. So guys, please like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel, and let me know what other videos I can make with this system. I would love to share my knowledge with you guys, and comment under this video, and let me know what you think. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great life.